0-4. No one expected that. Former big league scout Jeremy Booth is here, along with Matt Musil, Zach Tawatari. Good to have everyone here. So, guys, what should we focus on first when it comes to this Astros baseball team?
The same thing that people criticize Dusty Baker for, the lineups. Let's jump into the lineup.
All right, that's a good one.
Here.
Yeah, so here's the lineup from opening day. Altuve, Alvarez batting second, Tucker, Bregman, Abreu, McCormick, Diaz, Pena, and Myers. Jeremy, you mentioned on social media you have issues with this, so let's play Jeremy the manager. Give us your lineup.
So, I had some issues with this just because I don't think guys are comfortable in their spots. I think you have run production guys hitting too high up in the order, and we have something I like to call stacking, which doesn't work here. For me, if I'm going to roll this out, I'm going to have Jose Altuve in the one spot. I don't think there's any reason ever to move him from that place, so that's where he's going to hit.
Unless Springer comes back to the team.
Which isn't going to happen, right? Okay, and then for me, and stay with me here, Jeremy Pena is hitting the 2-hole. And the reason why Jeremy Pena is hitting second is because when you go back to 2022, when he first arrived, you have nothing but fastballs. You have good pitches to hit. You have a productive opportunity to set the table with speed and to drive the baseball. And when you have all these other guys behind that are less well-rounded, let's say, I'm putting him in that spot because I want to get him fastballs to hit.
But obviously the big idea, you get Alvarez in that spot, more at bats.
Sure. And I think we saw that case in point on Sunday that he got into that spot in the 9th. However, I would argue that he's much more productive in the 3-hole. This is a guy that hit 31 homers last season in that spot. Comfort is confidence, and that's what you need when you hit. You have to feel comfortable to be confident.
And Yordan typically does hit in the 3-hole, so is that where you're going?
I actually would have Alex Bregman in the 3-hole.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why is because Breggy's had been hurt recently. He's healthy now, right? He's had some years where he's battled through it. We've seen it. The legs haven't been underneath him all together. He's fought for his swing. If you get 280 and 25 Alex Bregman in that 3 spot, you're doing pretty well because you can take care of the 1, the 2, and whatever one gets to the bottom of the lineup who's ahead of him.
So Yordan at 4.
Yordan at 4.
Okay. And Matt, you're okay with that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've got to get him up there in the 4-hole. But after that is probably where Jeremy and I are going to disagree because I would like to scoot Diaz up there. But what do you think?
Kyle Tucker, right?
So the Diaz thing, I don't argue. I don't argue that. There's interchangeable type players. I totally get it. For me, you're paying a first baseman a lot of money who is struggling to be productive. You need to get him pitches to hit. And the way to get him pitches to hit is between Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker. And I'd hit Abreu in the 5-hole for production. It doesn't mean he's the 5th best hitter. It doesn't mean I want to see him in all those situations. I want to get him pitches to hit. And if I hide him too far down, it's not going to happen.
And that obviously leaves Kyle Tucker at number 6.
In the 6-hole, correct.
Right.
So bottom half of this order now, Zach, where would you go at 7?
After that, I think you're probably going to have to go at Chaz at 7 in this particular scenario.
No Diaz, huh?
I do. I think I like going to Chaz because they're going to want to not pitch to Diaz, which means they're going to want to go after Chaz. He's going to get a lot more fastballs, and he's best when he gets fastballs.
All right. What does our manager, Jeremy, have to say?
So I am going to go Diaz in the 7th spot, although I like Zach's logic. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because now I've created a little bit of a sandwich effect where I got to kind of pick my poison. I have danger, 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 all the way through 7. However, I've also got speed, speed, speed in this type of spot where these two guys gets the ball in the air, hits the ball on the ground a little bit when it comes to Brady recently. I can break up double plays. This guy's not going to run at all.
Matt, something I noticed, and you brought up the name Dusty Baker, righty, lefty, righty, lefty.
I think it works with this lineup. I don't like the way it is now. I like this. I might lower in the batting order here. I might flip a couple of things, but after Diaz, you got to go McCormick, and then you got to go Jakey.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because Chazzy Fizz has got to be in that lineup because he makes things happen. And here's the thing about Jake. I mean, I know he has struggled. He's had so many problems since he got hurt in the 21 playoffs, but before he got hurt, when they called him up, he was hitting 260. His OPS in the minors that summer was over 1,000. I think a healthy Jake Myers Put him out in center field, run him out there every day for the first 2 months, see what happens. I think he'll produce for you.
Now, if Dubon is in the lineup playing center field, do you just switch out Myers and Dubon?
The best part about
think
Dubon,
so.
the best part about Dubon is that he can help anywhere. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
The offense last year was a surprise. The defense we thought he would bring, maybe not in center field, but we thought he would bring defensive, stability, right? So Altuve needs a couple days. Bregman may need a day. Yordan Alvarez should never see left field. He should he plays left-hand hitter, and that's what he does. And if you bring down in this spot, you got McCormick in left, and you got Myers in center. Dubon's going to play 4 or 5 days a week. Where, we don't know, right? Where we don't know. To answer the center field question, yes, but the value of Dubon is far beyond center field.
On opening day, we made this point. By having this guy here, there's a lot of stress down here.
Oh, yeah.
That's a sabermetrics move right there, to put Yordan Alvarez in the 2-hole, and that's all it is.
Because you're counting on these guys to get on base for these guys.
Yeah, that's a move built on sabermetrics, and the reality is he's just not comfortable hitting there. He started the season 2 for 17. Yes, small sample size, but still.
You know, before off air, Matt brought up a point about Alvarez. Today's one of the bats today. He had 3 fastballs and didn't swing the bat once, right? When you're Yordan Alvarez and you're not hunting velocity and you're not able to turn that ball around because you're not comfortable, that's a big red flag for the Astros and where he should be hitting.
Yeah, he's like thinking something that he shouldn't be thinking.
Yeah.
Big man, hit ball, long way. That's it.
So let me ask
3
you this.
fastballs, and he took all 3. That was amazing.
Dusty did not change things up because guys like being in a routine and you don't want to show that you're panicking. How long does Joe Espada stay with this lineup?
Should have been 4 days ago. Yeah. You know, and so if you look at it now, well,
Negative 4 games.
If you look at it now, and let's go back to Dusty because every manager is different. Dusty believed in that comfort. He believed to understand how to prepare for that situation. I'm not saying Joe doesn't, but this is not that same comfort zone. Additionally, a bigger problem at the bottom of the lineup with this here is after this here, this is Chas McCormick's an ambush hitter, right? Diaz doesn't have a whole lot of protection as far as hitting the ball out of the ballpark with Pena and Myers, and you're looking at limiting what Diaz can do, and you're now getting into a position where these guys really got to produce to get back to here in the first place. Instead of spreading that out and protecting it, you now, on this side lineup, the one we collectively put together here, you've got extra base approach, you've got speed, you've got line drive with extra base power, you've got one of the best hitters around consistent hitters in baseball, and Alex Bregman. You've got the best left-hand hitter in baseball for me, and Yordan Alvarez. You've got a struggling veteran who's at the end, who's really well paid, that's got to play first base. You need to get him against some pitches to hit ahead of this guy, who's also one of the best hitters in the game now and can really run. This now has balance. Ambush, hit, stay out of the double play. You give yourself a chance to have some extra innings. And by the way, if you go back to 2022, great year, hurt, but great year, great year. And these guys have obviously come into their own sense.
Wow. All right. I guess we shall see what the Astros do moving forward. Now, let's look at this. As for the pitching, when you're talking about pitching with this team, how concerned should the Astros be given middle relief was likely not going to be this team's strength anyhow?
Right.
So I'm not concerned, and I know I'm probably the minority when it comes to that, and especially with Astros Twitter or X, whatever. You know, it's
the bloggers, and tweeters.
Whatever that is going on. It's the concern is on some guys that maybe shouldn't be here if the staff was at full strength.
Yeah, that's
right?
a good point.
And you're missing 4 guys right now. You're missing McCullers. You're missing Garcia. You knew you'd miss those 2, but you didn't know you'd miss Verlander, and you didn't know Urquidy wouldn't be back. So let's play the game here a little bit. If Verlander's back, he's in the rotation. Okay.
Right.
McCullers comes back. We've been saying this for as long as I have known you two.
Yeah.
Okay? He should be in the bullpen, and I hope that we figure this out now. If he comes back and he's in the bullpen, he's good for one time through the lineup. He slots into that middle role. One of those guys got to go. If J.P. France continues to do what he's done today, maybe he is in the rotation, maybe not. Or Urquidy comes back, it's him or J.P. France. How do we feel now about a rotation of Verlander, Garcia, Valdez, Javier, and Brown, and a bullpen of Hader, Presley, keep going. Down the line, add McCullers and Urquidy, McCullers and France, right, all that. And now you feel a little better.
Especially the middle.
Correct. And if you're Dana and you're the Astros front office, these guys are still on your payroll. So you're not going to turn around and go double fill those guys and bring those guys in. You're going to fortify what you have. And we keep talking about Montero or not talking about Montero, right? Because he's there too. He can be really good. He can be really not. So he's still going to be in that mix. I don't have any issues about the bullpen or and the pitching staff. For me, that just puts more pressure on the offense right now. They got to keep them in a place where they're performing.
Matt, you've watched a lot of Astros baseball. What's your level of concern?
It's high. It's high right now. I hate to be that way. And I think what we're finding out is Joe Espada is finding out how hot that hot seat can be early in the season. It's easy to sit there as bench coach and say, well, maybe you should have done this, maybe you should have done that. But when it's your decision, I mean, right out of the chute, he was defending that pinch hit move, in game 1.
Singleton for Jake Myers.
And so I think, I tell you, I was really surprised because of the pitching situation after Urquidy got hurt in spring. I really thought Jim might go after Blake Snell. Because I know he likes Snell. I thought he'd just go for him, get a 1-year deal to get through this, because this is a team that's built to win now. You can't wait, we got this guy hurt, he'll be back mid-season, he'll be back. Wait a minute. The Yankees aren't waiting. They're 4-0 right now. The Rangers aren't waiting up north in Arlington, so I'm a little surprised at that, but I think what you're talking about, changing the batting order around, I think would help. You've got to get the offense going, and that's the big concern for me right now is the offense.
A few years ago, Josh Reddick, as the Astros started off very poorly, posted on social media, chill. Now, I don't know if we're there yet, but certainly there's a lot of concerns.
There are a lot of concerns, and I think Matt mentioned the best point when it came to the pitching staff. Yes, we don't want to talk about woulda, shoulda, coulda, but the reality is that this rotation that even they're going to have or they're projected to have, we don't know how soon JV is going to come back. We don't know what he's going to be like when he comes back. I think there's a higher likelihood that McCullers and Urquidy, they're both going to be really good in the middle of the bullpen, be able to spot start if you need to. Times when you need that sixth man, having JP France, that's a very very solid sixth starter. However, I don't know what they're going to get out of JV when he comes back. He's older. Who knows? He could get re-injured again very easily. We've seen this happen. If time is any indicator of what happens in the middle of a baseball season, you have at least 1 or 2 starters who go down. So I'm very surprised, especially given what the market value ended up being and how many years Snell and Montgomery both got, that the Astros weren't willing to go there in the offseason, or at the time, couldn't end up being the ones who won that lottery in either one of those guys.
Hey, Jeremy, I don't know if you feel this way, but right now the number 1 starter, who is he on the staff? Well, it's Framber Valdez.
I think it's Christian Javier.
I agree.
Well, let's say it's Framber. He was an opening day pitcher.
Sure.
But we don't know what we're going to get from Framber from one start to another. If he's your go-to guy, he's supposed to go, oh, wait a minute, we've lost 3 in a row. Yeah. Somebody's got to be out there and be the stopper. We don't know what we're going to get from him.
It's a good point, because we talked about in 2022 that Framber was your guy. I will say this now because he's no longer here. The ex-general manager, James Click, right? We're in Philadelphia and we're talking with him on the field.
Yep.
And we're talking about Verlander, and I kind of had their game plans, in my head as far as what they would do. We talked about Framber taking the ball, and that was it. He gets the ball and it's over. That's it. He hasn't been that guy since then. For me, that's upstairs. That's not in stuff. That's not in ability. And I don't know what the transition was here pitching-wise. What I do know is that they were off last year. They're out of sync now.
Yep.
They're not. There's something missing when it comes to mechanics. We saw it with Christian Javier last year. We talked about that in the ballpark. There's something missing when it comes to execution. Maybe it's a pressure, and there's something going on at home. And I don't know what this is at home. Last year it was the fans, and I thought, I'll tell you the truth, I thought it was the fans and the pressure of being the world champions. I don't know what's going on now when it comes to that. They need to kind of soul search a little bit and figure out why playing at Minute Maid Park has become difficult for them. It hasn't been good since October.
Very
first
strange.
series, October 6th or 7th, somewhere in that range, right? It hasn't been good for them. So I do think the pitching has to get back to mechanics and execution. I think the offense needs to not try to outsmart itself. And I would say that's Joe Espada as a rookie manager, all due respect. We're trying to outsmart ourselves with that lineup. We're trying to go too far with what this game is. As a side note, historically, you go back and look at the best lineups in baseball that have produced runs. You look at the Mariners in the 90s, look at the Yankees in the 90s, there's teams in the 2000s that have produced. And they're built similarly to what he has now. He has the ability here to hit. How you put that together is how you score runs. And if you choose to go against the grain, man, it's 170 years of this thing. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of works. So stick with it. And, the best thing you can do is stick with it, trust your players, and put them in position to be successful.
Now, the good thing is this. There's 158 more games to make sure that it works.